There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is our Thursday social media marketing call for real estate agents. We do this every Thursday at 1 p.m. And I am here today with Kara McMaster from McMaster Digital, who helps us out here on this call. Typically, we are talking about social media and how to grow your business by leveraging social media platforms like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and so on. Past few weeks, we've been diving into a lot of TikTok for a number of weeks. Did some profile optimization classes. We talked a little bit about YouTube YouTube last week, right? We did
Yep.
YouTube
Yep.
last week. If you're new to this call, you can go and check out some of the recordings. They are posted in our Real Estate Marketing Conversion Mastery Facebook group. If you need a link, just drop a comment, and I'll be happy to get you into that group and show you where the recordings are. Kara, what's going on? Let's go ahead and
What
start here.
up, everyone?
What are we talking about
Facebook,
today? Oh,
Facebook,
yeah.
Facebook, Facebook. Wasn't the cool kid, and now it's the cool kid coming
The
back.
cruel, did you say the cruel kid? Used to be the cool kid, now it's the cruel kid.
No, but I should have said that. That would have been so much better. Cool. So I can give you guys the slides. I've just wrote down more notes today. Terry, what's up, man? How you doing? Terry was, if this is okay, can I put you on blast here in a good way, Terry? So we launched like 10 beta clients for our call center here, and Terry was my very first person to say yes. He was like,
Nice.
he gave me all the faith in the world. And I let him know yesterday that we launched one client last week, and they got in a week, they got a listing agreement signed, and they have two more that are closing today. So three listing agreements signed in a week. So I was getting him pumped for what's coming because he got access to some sweet pricing that we're no longer offering. So Terry, it's good to see you on the call. All right, back to what we're here for, team. We're here to talk about all things social media. My name is Kara McMaster. I am the McMaster of all things social media when it comes to helping realtors crush it online. I've been doing this since 2017. I've had some of the same clients since then because I know a thing or two. So today it says YouTube, but it's actually Facebook. Last week we talked about YouTube. Last week I showed you guys a little bit of understanding how it's like this is a social search engine optimized platform. I showed you a few tools on how to figure out what people are searching for and how you can optimize for that and make creative around that, what to post, and how to use this as a platform. And then we kind of put Shane's beautiful partner up on blast as well to kind of showcase like how she's just absolutely like slaying and dominating YouTube. She's getting like leads in like every day, so much so that she brought on a buyer's agent to handle all those leads. I mean, who wouldn't love that? So if you didn't check that class last week, highly implore you to go back and watch. Now, as promised, we're going to talk about Facebook today. There's a reason why we left Facebook to the end. So Facebook still is the bane of my existence. They have some funny rules and things that they like to do there. And they've made my life as a marketer and one that provides marketing services for real estate agents a living Hell. I one time remember in October when they had when they elect a president. Oh my gosh, you guys, today it's been, this is like my fourth coaching call today, if you can believe it or not. So forgive me. I'm totally on the monster so I can keep up with you guys. But when they did the elections, they went through like a smear campaign on Facebook, and they were just like taking everybody's profiles down, banning their Facebook pages. They've got lots of rules because they are still the largest social media platform. So when it comes to rules and regulations and posting truthful content and privacy laws, they're always the guys in the spotlight. So they're always having these little bots that like to go out and do things, and whether those bots understand things and do things right or wrong, they cause issues. Now, why Facebook now though? So you guys know my love of TikTok and how great its algorithm is. Well, a few weeks ago, Facebook was like, we want some of that cheese. So they have taken over some of their algorithm. So now you will see over 30% of your newsfeed is going to be completely new creators. So what does this mean for you? We have seen that when Facebook first came out from about 2007 till about 2011, 12-ish, it was really, really, really easy to grow a Facebook page. You could amass these crazy amounts of followers, and you'd get all this ton free press. And then Facebook came along and took it all away. And then from 2012 up until like now, like essentially like almost like 10 years, you really had to pay to play in order to use your Facebook business page in order to grow an audience and get engagement. Well, that's now changing. It's coming back. So the point of today's class is to start taking a little bit more seriously. I myself am a marketer who do social media services. I even myself need to take it a little more seriously. So today I'm going to show you having an understanding of like the three main areas that you want to consider. And that's your personal profile, that's your Facebook pages, and then of course Facebook groups, which I mean, I don't know how much I can speak on that because Shane's kind of the man when it comes to that stuff. So I'll be expecting Shane to chime in on when it comes to Facebook group stuff with any points he wants to add. There's a big difference essentially between your personal page and your Facebook page. But either way, when I talk about the algorithm changing, allowing that 30%, it pertains to what's happening on the professional business pages. But they need to be treated very differently. Okay, so we've got our personal page here. Let's close this all up. So there's your personal page. We all know this, right? This is where you're going to be doing a lot of personal stuff, your wins. There's all different kinds of things that you can be doing here. Open this up. So you know that you can do different videos and photos. You can do different polls. You know, the live video that used to be pushed really big. We don't really see the algorithm favoring live as much anymore. But you do want to stay on the personal side of things, like a minimum really of 30% is what you should be aiming for when posting personal. So you can see here, like this was a professional version of a post. This was something somebody tagged me in for, being a beast. And then this was really personal. I posted some videos and photos of when I took my family to a Colombian football game. And just for those who are ever considering going to Colombia, never ever sit behind the goalpost. Okay, that's where the crazy fans go. I just want to play this for you guys, just because I think it's really interesting. You can see there if they had smoke guns there. They were doing the color. Honestly, guys, it was great. But anyways, personal stuff needs to be on there, but along with your professional stuff. See, I was like posting about my anniversary because the personal stuff blows up, but it reminds people that you're a real human being. But you absolutely, most certainly should be advertising your real estate services. In fact, you're going to be getting the majority of your leads and your attention come from your personal page. So you
I keep tagging you. Look at all those posts. It's like one post after another where I've tagged you.
I know. But we do a lot together on here, right? So what we want to have on here is you want to follow your clients, your colleagues, anybody that you do business with, because what's important to see here is when they have them showing up in the newsfeed. I'm going to show you what this tool is in a minute here. When they show up in the newsfeed, when you comment on their wins, it's another way to stay out in front of your SOI. So you really, really should be paying attention to your personal profile. It is a big deal. It's won a lot of business for my clients over the years, especially with pages kind of going the way of the dodo bird. You want to add everybody in your network that you possibly can. I practically, like, unless I know that it's like somebody from like overseas and they don't have any connections with me, I add them. Unfortunately, you can only have a maximum of 5,000 friends. See, I've got 6 mutual, I've got this person coming in, 6 mutual friends confirm. So it's kind of like LinkedIn where you can see like a connection between people. So I have 4.2 thousand. You can have a maximum of 5,000. There are some tools out there that can go through and scrape through people who are not really commenting or engaging with your stuff and get rid of them. But you want to keep it, you want to add as many people as you can, because those connections will continue to help gain you more people, gain you more business. Another little hack that you can do if you want to get some like big engagement on your personal profile is updating your life events. When you update a life event, it boosts that post greatly within the algorithm. So you've probably noticed it. Maybe you inadvertently didn't even know that you were doing it. A lot of us will update when we change to brokerage. So that's a life event because now you started like a new position somewhere else. And now way more people that are in your friend work are going to see that. Sorry, guys, my Facebook is like, it blows up. I got a lot happening. I'm going to show you a tool that actually keeps me on the check here in just a second. But as far as posting goes, keep it to once a day. Try not to post multiple times a day. This is a platform where you're going to tick people off if they see you showing up too much. Do not post your stuff when you're upset with people, argue with people. Try to keep the political stuff out of it. You know, if that's part of your MO and you want to do that, like all to you, but I do recommend that you do keep this above board and make it a happy place for people wanting to engage with your content. You'll see up here, it's just the same way I've taught you guys in the past before how to optimize your Facebook profiles for maximum amount of leads coming in the door. Okay, so to do that, go back to that class in the Facebook group for profile optimization. If you search the DYIC hashtag, I'll teach you about how we go through and we create, you know, you can see here, we've got the banner and I've got a little description, and then I've got my group that I advertise here. And shameless plug, if you're not in my group, you should be, because I post free stuff like trends and all that stuff, and I teach you guys how to do better video. So that's your personal page. Same thing as what I teach you guys here. You know, have a photo with a green colored image in the background, mouth open, look inviting, be happy, all that good stuff. So let's talk a little bit about the newsfeed eradicator, because you just saw it. Okay, everybody, you can just stop messaging me now and tagging me. I've got people to coach. All right, you can see here, this is what's called the newsfeed eradicator. Since I'm asking you to come on Facebook every day and post and find people to comment on their posts and engage with them, I don't like having my newsfeed full of ads and other people, because yes, I'm a marketer, and yes, I'm telling you for people to find your stuff. But for me personally, I want to stay on track. So this is a tool called Newsfeed Eradicator. You can use it for all these social media platforms. I'm going to drop it in the chat here for you. Basically what it does is, it just, like I said, it removes all the junk so that you can easily come in here, check your DMs, check everything that's going on, and interact as what you would without getting distracted on everything. Okay. One of my favorite tools. Okay, so the other, as I mentioned here, quotes, videos, images, polls, those are all great things to have here. Here are the two biggest opportunities of what you have on Facebook. So those are your Instagram stories and your your Facebook stories and your reels. So I break a couple of rules here that I tell you guys things to do and not to do. So I do tell you that you should not take your Instagram posts and automatically push them over to Facebook, because typically when we post something on Facebook, it is when we post something on Instagram, it's typically curated, like you've made it in Canva, or it's a listing video that you just attended, or you know, it's something that you already have curated. I really, really recommend that you take that post, that you put it on Instagram, wait another day or two, and then post it on Facebook, because we do see a cross correlation between our audiences, and it comes through a lot better when they can see it twice on two different platforms on 2 different days, and then it really starts to connect. Where I personally break that rule, because done is better than perfect, are my Instagram stories. I do connect my Instagram stories to show up on Facebook instantaneously, because typically it is something that I'm doing in real time. I do not curate my Instagram posts, all something that's happening, because Instagram posts, oh my gosh, you guys, Instagram stories are always that like behind the scenes, unpolished, raw content that I can just quickly get up and out the door. I do like pushing it over to Facebook stories. Where things can falter when you do that is Instagram has, one of my favorite things to do with my Instagram stories is engagement style of posts. So I'll get somebody to, let me just see, I'll do like a poll, or I'll do like a quiz. Like those are like some of my favorite things. Let me bring up an example here for you guys. I like to do something that gets engagement. Not all of the engagement stuff that you put on your Instagram stories will show up on your Facebook, which, you know, isn't the best. So if you want to go that little bit extra, you can take it, you can save it from Instagram, download it, then go over to Facebook and post it there. But I mean, I'm not doing it, chances are you guys probably aren't doing it. So I do recommend just posting it right over there. But let me just, here we go. Let's give you an example. The polls are like one of my favorite things to do, and they always get a ton of engagement. So like this one here, this one had over 50 people engaging with this. So this was an Instagram story. So very simple. Whoop, back here. I just took a B-roll shot. So B-roll is just like a video of like the Colombian flag. And then I put a quiz, and the quiz just says, Colombia is the best call center for a best place for a call center because same time zone, they understand American culture, or is it a warm client? And then I want people engaging with that story. And then, so you could do the same thing for your own, right? When we're doing that. So unfortunately, the quizzes do not work on Instagram stories. Some other features though, that you'll want to consider that do work are things like when you ask people a question, or you get them to place a poll, or the interaction ones where you swipe to the right or left and it's like a happiness or a fire emoji. Thomas says link to the call center. I don't have a link to the call center, Thomas, but I can send you here. Send me an email or add me on Facebook and let's connect and I'll give you all the goods. But basically post it over there, have it natively going over there, because you always want to have a story live all the time, 24 hours a day. You should have an Instagram story and a Facebook story that is live, because on average, I will have between 300 to 400 people looking at my stuff every single day. And who doesn't love that? And one of the big things that we're always kind of crying poor about is staying out in front of our SOI and not having to make phone calls about it. So you want to have your SOI constantly staying out in front of them. And it should, again, continue to be a mix. It should be a mix of what's happening in your personal life, what's happening in your professional career life, what's happening in the real estate market, showing off a new listing. You just want to be mindful, whether it's your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories, is that you're not like overdoing it. Okay. Like I recommend kind of staying around that like 5 to 8 stories maximum per day. You can see when somebody has viewed your post. By doing that, you just take the story, you just scroll up and you can see all of the people who have engaged. But you want to pay attention when people have stopped. So the way that I do that is you can, unfortunately, here, let me see if I can get on with my phone here today, guys. Bear with me because I want to show you this feature, because this is going to tell you whether the content that you're posting, people are liking or not, because people can tap through. And even though they tap through, it'll come up as a viewer. Doesn't necessarily mean that they were like actually engaging and watching the story. What you absolutely do not want to see is somebody was watching your story on story 1 and then they went off. So a few things that are going to happen there. Number 1, you just lost a viewer. Now they're not going to watch the rest of your stories that you just put in there. Number 2, you just sent a note to the algorithm that you're not very good with your stories. So it'll show up less in people. So I'm going to open up my phone here and just join with my cell phone so I can show you. While I'm doing that, do I have any questions thus far? Cool. So let me share my screen here. I'm on my phone. All right, cool. Here we go. Okay, so here's Facebook. There's my stories and there's my reel. So these are really the 2 places where you're going to get the most amount of wins, the most amount of viewers coming up from your content right now when we're talking about your personal page. So here's a story that I made yesterday. So I click on the story and then I just flick up. So I just scroll up and then I can see all the people whom watched my story. I do this religiously. You can, call it what you like. Maybe I like attention, who knows? But I do like to pay attention to A, who's been watching my stories, and B, when people pop off my story. So I can see here at the very top that I had 73 viewers, then it went down to 60, then it went down to 56. So I lost quite a few people. Now, what's cool to me though, is that I'm advertising a service right now. I'm telling people about a video editing service that we have, and they can come into me and we can help them out. So I would say all these people that were watching all the way through, unless they were just tap, 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 tap all the way through, are pretty interested. So I can do a few things, right? One of the things that I like to do is I like to hit some of these people up that I know that are realtors, like Pamela and Daniel, they just signed up for our listing service. The fact that they watched 3, I could technically be like, hey guys, I noticed that, you watched all of the stories that I posted about my video editing service. Is this something that you're looking for? Or maybe you had just made an Instagram story about a home evaluation that you did, and you actually found out that you could probably get 20% more for that home because of these variable comps that you pulled. And you notice that you had somebody who was on the fence with you. You went and saw a listing appointment back with you last week, and maybe they didn't get back to you. And now they just watched all 3 of those stories. You be damn sure that I'm going to be hitting them up in the DMs on Facebook and be like, hey, Alec, I saw that you were watching my story about that. You know, maybe we should look more at more comps for you. What time's a good time for me to give you a call this afternoon? And then I'm hanging out with the DMs. So I do want you to hang out and see who's watching your stories. Another cool thing is like when you do post those engagements. So let's go great story. Okay, let's say I chose this. My son is obsessed with YouTube and he wanted me to make a video of him playing a YouTube game because that's where we're going. But let's say we go with, let's do a static one. Okay, and let's say you can go, you got your stickers here. The stickers are where you do a poll, right? So like, have you had a home evaluation in the last 12 months? Let's just say as when anybody who says no, who answers no to that Facebook story, I'm hitting them up in the DMs. So I really want you to start switching the thought process that you put around for your content that you're posting out on here as a way to get engagement. I'm totally going to put this guy on blast. This guy was hitting me up for content. So he's not a realtor, he's an agency owner. And he wrote to me that he didn't have time to do content. And I had my response back to him because I was feeling really cheeky. Was it's when someone says they don't have time to do content, it's kind of like somebody telling me that they don't have time to make money. And that is still a sentiment that I would carry today. But think of your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories as a way to get engagement and find out who should you be talking to today. But behind the scenes stuff, what's going on with your listings, and then of course the personal stuff, it all has a place there. But you should every single day have a story live. Okay. The next place here, the next biggest opportunity are reels. Okay. The cool thing about reels, let me go and share my screen again. Cool thing about reels, you don't have to reinvent the wheel here, guys. Whatever you're posting onto your TikToks, they go right up in here too. Just remember what I've always said. Do not download the TikTok from TikTok and then take it over here. You need to not have that TikTok symbol, because if you just download it from TikTok, it's going to put that little TikTok watermark on it, and it really, really hurts the algorithm. It just doesn't want to serve it. So make sure that you're either having them created by somebody like my team where it's in like a Google Drive, and then you can just pull it over. You can also use that tool that I've showed you before, which is repost.io. What we are seeing though on Reels is that what performs on the Facebook Reels is very different than what performs in Instagram Reels, and is very different from TikTok. But we're here for done is better than perfect. So while you're on this journey of your career, I do recommend that you just keep it all the same and focus on your TikTok, but then pull those over into your Reels, onto your personal profile. Cool. All right. Facebook pages. So Facebook pages at one time were like really great, and they helped us grow a huge, huge audience really, really easy. And it was a ton of, free advertising. And then, as I mentioned, after about 2012, 2013, they started making it a lot harder to really, really grow pages organically without having to spend money, because that's when they started to really introduce advertising on the platforms. Well, now in the landscape now of 2022, I really want you to put Facebook pages back onto your radar. And that is because they see what TikTok is doing, and they see that how their algorithm works so incredibly well, and the importance of having the people determine what you see, not the people that they are just following. So they want to reserve over 30% of your news feed. So what shows up here on your news feed should be 30% new creators that you've never really heard of before, people who you don't already follow, so that it can start to learn more about you and then serve you more of the content. So the Reels, the algorithm is technically supposed to work like that. I find the Reels algorithm doesn't understand me at all and wanting to see me. So it has some learning to do, but we are seeing a big, big uptick in engagement on Facebook pages. So your Facebook pages should all be run through your business manager. And through your business manager, you have access to things like the Creative Studio, where you can pre-schedule all of your content. But same thing, video is still key. Video is still reigning as king. You guys know I harp on video all the time. Keep that going. Keep your posting Monday to Friday. Keep the videos in Square. And then, technically you can take your Instagram posts over and natively push it over there. I don't recommend it. Also hashtags, no hashtags on Facebook. The whole point of a hashtag is when you use a hashtag, somebody can easily find you. And people just don't use hashtags on there at all. Cool. The next big thing here that we have are Facebook groups. Facebook groups are still, I think, very, very underutilized when it comes to real estate. Okay. I showed you guys before. This is my own personal one that I've got here, but I want to show you one that I did for a client. Unfortunately, I removed myself a while ago. It's been about a year since I worked with this client. When we worked with her, she had, I think, like 11,000 members. And then we got her up quite a bit. So what I love is this as a use case is that, so the town of where she lives is in Oviedo, Florida. And when she came to me, she had this large group of community people, but she wasn't really monetizing it. When I say monetizing it, she didn't have any way to collect leads and she didn't have a funnel for them to go through. Why I also love using this as an example is what you do not want to do is create a real estate focused group. You will have a much easier time growing a Facebook group when it is community focused, what's happening inside the community. And we've done this with other industries as well. Like, for example, we work with because I don't technically take on clients outside of real estate, but this client's been with me for like 5 years. So she stayed with me all these years and lovely. And I still love to work with them, but they wanted to grow their daycares. They had a number of daycares in the lower mainland in Vancouver. So we just did a mom's focused, group. So you want to have something that opens it right up that people aren't going to feel like they're being sold to all the time. But I love the idea of becoming like the community influencer vibe when you try to grow a group, because it will have a lot easier time having engagement when other people in the group can discuss with each other and doesn't completely rely on you. I will also say though that having a group is going to be some of the most intensive way to manage Facebook. It is a lot of work managing it, but I'll give you some tips here. Ralph says, this is some good sauce you're giving out. Nice, Ralph. I'm glad you like it. But let me tell you what I did with this specific group on where we really changed the game for her. So she had about 11,000, like that's cool. But what you can do is when you have somebody come into your group, you can have them answer questions, right? So you know how they answer questions about like, don't do this and don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. One of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that one of your questions is asking for their email because you're going to give them something in return. So usually I like to give them like a little, delete magnet, a little course, something that is a reason for them to give out their email. I do also like to ask for the phone number, but I make the phone number not mandatory to give over. And then I just give them a few rules on how they need to. I recommend if you recognize another realtor, keep that realtor out. It's your group. It's not their group. You'll notice that in my realtor visiting videos to closing group, I did not let another marketer in here because I'm like, I don't need you trying to come and poach my clients. Same thing for you guys. So keep it community focused. These are also her brand colors, but there's no mention of real estate here. It's all to do with her brand. And then what we did for the PDF guide here was a year of calendar events. So enter in your name and email and phone number, and I will send you a year-long calendar of all the family events they're having in Oviedo, Florida. I made it on Canva. We did an hour's worth of research, put it together, and deliver it through as a PDF. There are lots of different softwares out there. Shane, what one do you guys use for your group? So there's softwares out there that you can connect that will allow you to automatically take their name, email, and phone number that they give you in the Facebook group and can connect it to any CRM that you work with through a software called Zapier. But Shane, what's the one that you guys use?
I use Group Funnels is one of them.
Group
There's
Funnels.
Group Connect. There's a
Yeah.
few of them out there that are pretty decent, but they don't automatically connect to your CRMs. You still have to create the connections between the software and then. But the nice thing about it is that it just typically it'll connect to like a Google Sheet, so you can start collecting everything. So as long as you can figure out how to get the Google Sheet contacts into your CRM, then we just use Zapier for that. But
Yeah. I miss
and I
those.
think
Sometimes
from
they
like
make things.
our group over the past, it's the kind of thing where like if you don't start at the beginning, like so if you create a group and your intention is to create that so you can start generating contacts and leads and grow your audience, start right away with one of these tools, because I think that like we've had the group for about 4 or 5 years now. We have collected a lot. I think either 9,000 contacts or 11,000 contacts over that period of time. We've, like I think we've generated close to $2 million worth of sales just from that. That list alone has been a gold mine for us. So, yeah, if you're gonna start groups, definitely look into these automated, because you can't keep like at the beginning. Yeah, sure, you're getting one or two, and then you're excited because you're in the group and it's like your first group, right? And you're kind of excited for the first couple of weeks, but after that excitement goes away, you start to like, all right, I forgot to add these people to my list, and that's what was happening with us. And eventually, we just automated the whole thing now.
Yeah, automate is key. Like you don't have to use one of these tools, but I like it because, like we're saying, it'll take their information. You can use it into a Google Sheet, use Zapier, and then zap them in, and then do a nurturing campaign, right? Where we're sending them a series of text messages, emails. If you're really fancy like me, we use a platform called Go High Level that can actually create custom audiences. It'll automatically add that person into a custom audience into my ads, and I run like a $5 a day. And I'm always telling you guys this, $5 a day to do retargeting and some of the best money that you can spend. And I retarget back my most important people, where I just continue to further nurture them. But this is the tool that we use. We pay for it monthly. There's some other tools we can do like a lifetime, but Group Monkey is what we use. You can also set up Facebook to set up some rules. Like if they've had their account for a certain amount of time, if they're not in like a million groups, that you can actually automatically add them into the group. And then with your other groups and things, you just want to have it so that they have to go through that application process. You can set it up that like not everybody can just natively post it. It has to go through an approval process. When your group is smaller, like mine, right? We don't have a ton of people in there. I don't have to worry about that. I'm also very careful who I let in the group. But when you have a client like this one that's got 33,000 members in it, you likely do want to put in some sort of a wall, because you will get spammers. You'll get all kinds of spammers in here. And that's the quickest way to have people not engage with your group. But if you're going to go down this process, even I falter, like I need to go in and create some posts for my own group, is that it is time intensive. It's probably one of the hardest to do, because you really have to get to a point where the community is interacting with themselves and not always requiring you. But I do like to go live in my Facebook groups. I like to give out lots of stuff. Facebook recently made the ability that if you tag at everyone will get a notification. Don't do that. It's a very quick way to get people just to not pay attention to anything of what you got going on. However, we do typically see that posts inside of Facebook group can have better engagement than something from like a personal page or a professional page. But I do recommend that you have one, because over time, what will happen is as you grow the group and once it gets to a certain size, I'm not exactly sure what that size is, but the algorithm will notice that you have lots of people coming in. It'll start showing it as a recommended group for other people to join, so that you're not always having to promote it on your own, which is pretty cool, especially if it's a local community influencer type of group that has people coming in. But then you can also create some rules in here. Like if I had a big group like this, the odd realtor's probably going to sneak their way in there. But I would have some very specific rules that show them that like other realtors cannot post and advertise their services in here. And, I will kick you out if I catch you doing that kind of stuff. So definitely recommend it. But that's kind of what I wanted to give you guys today. Just an idea of like what is working, what's not working on Facebook. Pay attention to Facebook pages. Video is still king. Keep it vanilla, as I like to say, and be smart about your personal page of like when you can do and get a lot of attention. I think that this feature down here, the life events, definitely doesn't get used. Even I don't use it as much as I should. But if I posted today, like I should probably make a post about starting my new company. And that's going to get me a lot of love and it's going to be seen by a lot of people. Anniversary stuff slays it. Every time I do anniversary stuff, it always gets lots of love on there. But I think I remember telling you guys I once posted a TikTok reel and I got like a few hundred views and I put it on Facebook Reels and it blew up. It did like over 600,000 or 700,000 views, thousands of comments, and everybody was arguing, and it was great. It's a great day for a marketer. Any questions on Facebook with some clarity that I can build for you guys? Does anybody want me to take a look at their Facebook, do a quick little audit? We got a little bit of time before we jump off and my kids come and we try to find those delicious Brunellos. Can't share them with you, but I can share my knowledge. Okay.
No questions. Everybody's an expert.
I know, I always get there. Brinder just came off of mute. What you got, Brinder?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I've been listening to you guys. Like long time. I think a few months back, you shared. I think it was a spreadsheet or something that we were working on together.
Content roadmap.
And yes, and out of that, we have a few avatars, right? So
that's right. Yeah.
I lost the link for that. So
Okay, let me go grab you a new one. Hang tight here for me and I'll grab that for you. So for those who don't know, I'll share it on screen so you can actually see it. This is what we call our content roadmap, and there is a whole class that we did on it. So I do implore you to go back and watch it. But basically, it's an opportunity for us to really get in the minds of our avatar. It does take some time. Okay, this is not a quick process, but I promise you, if you spend the 3 to 4 hours it's going to take you to do this, you will have content for months and months and months. Okay, long time. The whole point of this is so that you can create content that positions you as the authority in your space. Because remember what I say is that people just want to be able to know that you're their person that's going to fix all of their problems. So we really go after what are their goals, what are their challenges, what are they currently trying to figure out. So I'm going to pop that in the chat here for you, for those who don't have it. And let me grab, actually, I'll grab you this slide deck too, just in case that helps. But you should go back into the group, into the DYIC group, and watch the whole class on how to do that, because it's I would say the first time you go to do this process, it's a little bit more complicated than anything else. It can feel kind of sticky, even for my own employees who are doing it, sometimes give me a little bit of pushback. So it's not meant to feel easy. So the heads up. And find the slide deck for you. There we go. Here's a slide deck that went along with it, but definitely go back into the group, watch it, spend the 3 to 4 hours it's going to take you to complete your content roadmap. And this will be where all of the content that you create for all of your social media channels, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff is all going to be there for you. Cool. Great question though. I just say, Brenda, I'm going to be excited to see it
Can
completed.
you see that? No, hang on.
Yeah. Is that you? Is that
No.
me? Nope.
That was me. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Screen 2. Nope. Yep. What screen can you see now?
Yeah, I can see your beautiful face.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The video, the replay one?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on a second. Screen 2. This one scrolling up and down?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So it's the replay of June 30th, 2022.
We go
The one
way back.
It's way back. So June 30th, 2022, this is the one where we talked about batching your content.
Yeah, cool.
So if anybody's looking for it, that is the one.
All right, Cool. Any other questions I can help you guys out with for today before we hop off?
Actually, I came in late, so I will just watch the replay.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, let me know. What I'm going to do here is this, since we have in the past, we put out a little questionnaire and we said, who wants to more clarity, or what's the feedback, or what can we teach you guys? We didn't get the best uptick. That's okay. Sometimes filling a whole bunch of forms ain't the easiest thing to do. So here's what I want you guys to do. Number one, make sure that you are friends with me on Facebook. I want to be connected with everybody. Number two, it would just mean the absolute world to me if you sent me a quick message and just let me know what you're looking for more clarity on. What can I help you in the world of social media, from creating video, creating posts, coming up with content ideas, understanding platforms more. And it's okay if we've covered it in the past. Maybe there's another question that you have about it. It would mean the absolute world to me, because remember, this is my free time. Nobody pays me to be here. I would just mean the world to me if you guys should send me a DM, Tom. Let's keep it easy. Add me on Facebook, send me a DM, and just say, here's what I would really love from you to see from you, Kara, and I will create training on it. And I charge a lot of money for my one-on-one time, so you guys get me for free. So send me what you need, and I will do a specific training on it for you. Shane says, or fill out the survey. Or fill out the survey. Let's see who does better. Ralph, I'll drop my email here for you here. There you go. That's my email, but I'll hit you up on Facebook as well, and we'll connect. Cool. Well, I guess that's it. I guess all there's left for me to do is tell you guys how amazing I am. If you want to hire me and work with me, we've got some fun ideas for you. Set you up some listing appointments. I see some clients on here, which is very cool. This is getting very cool.
That's cool. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Terry works with me, Janina, Vicky.
Hey, Kara.
I think Amy as well. Hi, Vicky. What's going on?
Hi, Kara. How are you doing?
So well. How are you doing, my dear?
Good. Are you in Canada or are you
Colombia. I'll
Colombia?
be here. Yeah, I'm here for a while. I'll be here for a couple of years at least.
Oh, I thought you were in Colombia for a couple of years.
That's right. Yeah, Colombia. I'll be here in Colombia for a couple of years.
Oh, great.
Yep.
So I didn't know if you were back for a brief period of time. Anyway, I was just wanting, my request was to, in the future, if possible, to get more training on YouTube and Instagram videos.
Okay.
Just that's kind of where I want to be focused. So I can go back and listen to prior trainings for sure, but I just thought that might be an idea. And the other question that I had is, you were mentioning a Facebook page that you directed us to, where you said, please, join here, tips and tricks and whatever. Was that the one you just posted now?
That's my group. So I have a videos to closings group where I give you guys all kinds of cool stuff. So let me post that again here for you.
Thank you.
No marketers allowed, only high production agents. Yeah, that's my group. But good questions. Good to know you want some clarity. Last week we did there's a really basic training of YouTube. I also mentioned a really, really great course by Travis and Levi, who are the OGs in this space. But I think it would be good to do some more Instagram stuff. I just started working with a really big Instagram coach. Just so you guys know, I spend an ungodly amount of money on courses to stay on top of exactly what's working now within social media. And I just made a large investment to work with a guy in Instagram who went from like 0 to 1 million followers in under 6 months, purely using Instagram Reels. And so just as a quick synopsis, like what we're seeing from difference in Instagram Reels is just a lot more aesthetically pleasing. It's a lot more mature. It is what we're seeing different. So as much as I've been repurposing content over from TikTok, we are recognizing that it does take a little bit of a different aesthetic to grow. But I'll have some cool stuff that you guys don't have to pay for, because I pay for it. So we'll have some cool stuff on that. So I appreciate your input there, Vicky. Cool. All right. Team.
Cool. Wrap it up.
Hope I see all your beautiful faces next week. Nani says, how to utilize others' posts on social media for you. Do you supply the content? If so, what tools? Oof, okay. How do you use others to post on, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? How will you use others to post on social media
Probably
for you?
how to use VAs to post for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like today, but you were asking for like suggestions in the future. So like if you, like Shane was saying, if you have VAs posting for you, or if you were thinking of doing that, because my issue is I just don't post that much, like even personally, right?
Yeah.
It's just something I have to consciously think about. And then at that point, it's like, okay, what do I post? So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Great input. Let's definitely see what we can do some new trainings on that. What I will say is like, video is king. Video that features you, your face, your voice, and your avatar's biggest challenges. There's lots of services out there who will be like, we'll do templated content. It's like $300 a month and it's all Canva. Like that stuff just doesn't work anymore. Like it's like you might get a little bit of love, but like leads are not going to come in. The leads come in because they're just like, she knows my stuff. She knows exactly the problems that I'm going through. So the methods that I've taught you guys, from like creating the hooks and the subjects and creating short form video content and posting them on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, are currently what reign king. The MLS graph, the MLS feeds and the, happy Halloween, or the broker fed stuff, like it hurts you more than it does any good, because every single time that we put out a piece of post,
Lost your
the
mic.
algorithm. Oh, am I back? Can you hear me now?
No. Well, kind of a little bit.
How about now?
Yeah.
Comments. Every time we put out, every
It's
time we
not
put
the
out a
mic, it's the
post-
country you're in.
Every time we put out a post, you are judged. You are judged for your ability to gain attention. And if you are not able to gain attention, it hurts the rest of your posts. You're almost better not to post at all. So it's funny, Vicky actually, not to say anything, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but the team came to me and they're like, Vicky needs social media postings. And I was like, that's cool that we don't want to just do some regular postings, but tell Vicky, like, we have to be doing video, because otherwise, if I can't feature her face, her voice, it's going to be really hard for me to justify the prices and services of what we're doing, because like the leads just don't come in. Nadia, I think what would be good is just maybe next week, Shane, what we can do is like a summarization class of the 8 weeks foundations of everything that we did, and just like hit the high level stuff just to summarize that up so that everybody doesn't have to go. But the first 8 weeks that I joined you guys, I gave you some really good clarity on like what to post, when to post, and how to do it. But I think next week we'll do a summarization of those 8 weeks and give you guys some of that clarity again. Sounds like that would be helpful.
I think the other thing too on the posting side of stuff, like you kind of had mentioned earlier, like you don't necessarily have to post every single day on a platform like Facebook. I think one of the important things is to I see a lot, especially with the real estate agents, I see a lot of this happening. Like go to their profiles, you can't even tell they're a real estate agent. Like you can't tell at all. There's no links to your websites. There's, even your profile picture is an image of some quote, and there's, everything on, like all of your posts are nothing relating to you being a real estate agent, right? So I think part of what's important is just keep in mind that, if you're going to leverage a platform like Facebook, you want to remind people, and I'm saying if you're going to leverage Facebook, what you want to do is remind people that you are a real estate agent. And that includes, like if you're adding friends and family, your sphere customers, things like that. Just it's not necessarily having to post every single day, but just a piece of content that just reminds people. And then, your personal stuff, and then a video, once or twice a week. And you'll be way further ahead than any other real estate agent out there, most real estate agents out there. I think we also mentioned in some of our trainings early on that, the SEO is really good with Facebook, especially on the business pages. So if your customers or somebody you're talking to is going on Google, which they will, most people go on Google and they're going to search you, your Facebook business profile is going to come up, right? So if your Facebook business profile is not properly optimized, to, reflect how amazing you are as a real estate agent, that's something you're going to want to work on as well.
Great afterword there, Shane. The man, I don't know if you know, maybe I've shared this before, but Shane is part of the reason why I got into real estate so heavily, because he had a course.
I'm so sorry.
Our realtor was like, I need leads. And I was like, I have no idea to do that. I'm a content girl. Like I do social media. And they were like, well, and so I found Shane and found his course. And here we are all these years later. I love it.
Very good. That's awesome. All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's wrap this up. We both have a hard stop just about now. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Kara, it's always a pleasure. Always
Thanks,
nice
guys.
to see you.
Appreciate your time.
We'll be back next Thursday, 1 p.m. And we also do coaching call every Tuesday with Brad Van De Walle. So if you guys are interested in that, hit me up, get you registered to that. And everybody have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Kara.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.